correct links and stuff, so it's not final. It's an easy installation. The instructions installation are in the user guide. It's basically just take the defaults and click on next, and OK. And it's very quick, and it'll put a icon on your desktop like that, wherever, and away you go. So when you launch the Saber copy, it comes up to this screen, and I want to tell you that they have their own user guide, which is built into the application. You get that from the help button and then the user guide button, and that will open a PDF, which is theirs. Now, there is overlap between their document and ours. I wrote ours from the perspective of using it with MegaVoice players. They wrote this application to support their own player, the Saber, and so there is overlap, but there's details in their user guide that I didn't even touch on because for the beginning period there's features in there that I don't know if we can make use of them, but you may want to explore that. They have a way to generate announcement audio that it can generate using text-to-speech the name of the folder at the beginning of the contents of that folder, and then you have another option to do one, this is the end of this folder. It's not real robust, but it's kind of interesting that they built that in, and they could...
You mean it'll insert that audio?
Yeah.
So they have their own little recording file?
Yeah, or he'll do text-to-speech, and he'll read the name of, if you name your folder God's Story Chapter 1, he'll speak God's Story Chapter 1 and create an MP3 file and put it in there. I don't know if we have a whole lot of use for that. We may in the future, but I didn't even touch on those options. Okay?
Ed, that might be something interesting for you to know how to do.
Yeah, for sure.
It's limited right now, but they're open to enhancing it. In fact, they've done a whole lot of enhancements to the product already just based on my working with them for the last, well gosh, it's been 4 months now. What we're going to look at is version 3 of Saber Copy. Rob McDonald at GRN wants to put version 3 to bed, so he's not going to make any more changes unless there are bugs that need to be fixed. Version 4 will come out hopefully sometime in the middle of next year. We've already got a lot of requests in for better enhancements, and hopefully they'll be able to address some of that. We'll touch on some of it today. So, I'm going to start with an example. I'm going to program 2 Envoy S players, and Saber Copy will recognize devices as soon as they're plugged in. And he creates a line for each player under this list, and he shows you the volume assigned to it, the name of the volume if you put a name on it, and how many files is currently on there, the current file size, and the total file size of every device connected, which is kind of handy. He displays a lot of information. Just like a lot of applications, there's more than one way to configure and load a player. The first option, the simplest option, is you pick the folder you want to load by clicking on Add Folder. I'm going to look for test audio for Envoy S, since it's small. So you pick your folder, and then to use it as a source to load to a player or copy somewhere else even, you choose to jot down here and say, I want to use it as a master.
Oh, I didn't do that with mine.
So, as soon as it's a master, Saber Copy works in the framework of projects. And that's where you specify all your definitions of how you want this load to happen. He automatically opened the project here when I said set it as master. And he defaulted to the name of the project is the actual path of the folder. You want to go in to edit the project. There's 6 tabs here. This is the tab for the audio announcements and text-to-speech. I'm not going to really look at that today, but you can explore that later. The first tab is used to specify the files you want to load. Since I pointed to the parent folder, this is already exactly what I want. I want all the files in this folder to be copied to my targets in the same structure. So this is already correct. Leaving this blank here says just duplicate the structure that's in here. Now, anytime you specify files, you can always see a preview of what's going to be loaded on the detailed file list. He'll show you every single file that he understands from the definition in this tab for you to load. We have requested that he also provide here a visual of the folder structure tree, but that's going to have to be in version 4. He does have here all the files, and you can kind of, if you scroll through it, you can kind of see all the folders and files that are going to be in there, and he gives you a total count and a total size. So you can preview it here. Before this, he's saying this is what I'm going to load, so you can double check it here. Under output options is you choose what your target device is going to be. For most of our players, you're going to use the standard MP3 player setting. He already has built in to here definitions for storytellers, the SP and the LP, and that's because it's been in there for a couple of years, and I think it's because some of their customers were also using storytellers and they got requests. So they contacted somebody in the U.S. office and asked specifics about the definition, and they built it into their software. And if you click on that, he'll actually display a picture of it, and he puts the rules in place for a storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to look at a storyteller project next example, so I'm not going to go on that front now. But anytime you open a project, you want to go to here to make sure it's set for the right target.
Mm-hmm.
And for most of our players, except for the storyteller, you could do storyteller like this too, if you set all the other settings right. But it's just a standard MP3 player. Then you come to the copy and check tab, and you need to make sure this is what you want. So for initialization, he has quite a few options here. They're above and beyond what's in SLS. SLS, you don't have a choice. He does a quick format of the players. You don't have a choice in that. Saber Copy offers a quick format, and he could do a full format if you ever wanted to do that. But it's very unlikely you would need to do that, and it takes a long time. You can also, instead of formatting, you can delete all the files and subdirectories without another format, or you can delete just the subdirectories but leave the root, or you can tell them don't touch it. So if you do a format, you have options here on the file system you want to put on there, whether it's FAT32 and MTFS, and you can also determine the allocation unit size. In the majority of cases, you're going to go with quick format and don't change this stuff, because the players already should have the correct.
You mean the
file
audio?
system. Hmm?
You mean the audio should already have?
No, this is the player. The player should already be set to the correct file system
Okay.
and the correct allocation unit size.
Mm-hmm.
You can change that when you do a format. So the majority of cases, he's going to default to quick format. Don't change the file system. Don't change the allocation unit size. There may be cases where a player's been messed up and we want to reformat it and force the allocation unit size to something if it got messed up. And you could just come in here and it's usually you want to use 8192, but you could have your choice of this. So in most cases, just make sure it's no change. That's the safest option. Here he has a quick a rewrite test. This only takes a couple seconds, so it's usually suggested. He'll write an empty file to the player and then try to read it. And if he fails with that, he'll stop the process. Okay, if you do format, you have an option to name the device, and I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to say I want this to be called Envoy S. If you leave that blank and he formats, it'll be blank. Under verification options, you have a couple choices.
So from now on, when that player will be connected, it'll
show up
identified
his
as
name.
Envoy S.
His name will say I'm Envoy S.
Actions has a similar
Yeah, but SLS does not. So we're
Right.
trying to keep in mind this is really a comparison. This is replacing SLS. As far as speed, and I'll talk about that at the end, nothing so far can touch the speed of actions. Because ADFU mode is just faster and more efficient because they wrote the software, they developed the chip, and they have a special way of talking to it that's faster than the standard connection.
If it's faster and more efficient, are we switching to this in the production room, to Saber Coffee in the production room?
This will replace SLS. Whatever you would use
You don't-
SLS.
Once in a while for the old players, yes.
Okay, I've never used SLS, so that's.
This will replace SLS. I don't see it being able to replace actions for two reasons. ADFU mode is still much faster than the standard mode that this and SLS and other applications use. And actions allows for more concurrent connections. This
Right.
depends on the drive letters on a computer, how many he can connect. So that's the letters of the alphabet is 26 minus whatever's already not reserved. So on your computers, the most you can do is 22.
Action does not belong to MegaVoice, so we can't give that to our customers. Only if you selected the customers who use it. But we
Okay.
shouldn't even be giving it. Michael, if this program is more complicated than using SLS, you can have a lot of problems out in the field with it.
Well, that's why I wrote the little user guide, and we're gonna
Right.
set up a, but you know, with added features comes added
Gets so called.
complexity. You know, we've gotten a lot of requests to change SLS to do this, change SLS to not
Yeah.
format,
Right.
if I wanna add files. You know, we've had all kinds of
But
things.
most people that are requesting those changes don't realize the interface for regular people out in the field has got to be very simple.
Well,
I know.
you
I
can't have
understand.
it both ways.
I
You just can't have it both ways. This will answer a lot of questions that have been requested for a long time, but it's got a lot of buttons and knobs.
Of course, yeah. Right.
Okay, so back here, the verification process, which he does at the end of the copy, you can tell him to verify everything, don't stop on an error. If you uncheck that, he'll stop at the first
That's
one. You can have him check the file timestamps, which is very quick. He makes sure that the timestamps of the files on the target are within 2 seconds of the timestamps of the files in the source. And the reason it's 2 seconds is because in a large message, there can be a time delay, and you can't do exactly by second. It
yeah.
gets off. So he does it within 2 seconds, and that's close enough to guarantee that the files that I copied have the same timestamp as the one from the source. So you can request that, and as far as, he has an option to check the file contents, and he actually does the MD5 checksum on this. You can tell him don't do it at all, check the first 4K of every file, check the first 64K of every file, or check the whole file. And the more you ask for, the longer the verification will take. So it's a trade-off if you want to know the confidence of knowing what got copied to the player is identical to the source. It depends on how badly you want to know that. So I'm just going to say check the first 4K,
Well, that would cause issues, won't it? Yesterday, when we were loading, the issues that we found, MD5 found, was at the end of the folder. Just the 9 files missing at the end.
No, he checks all the files. This is the file contents for each file. He
Uh-huh.
says, I'm gonna look at the first 4 kilobyte of each file,
Okay.
or I'm gonna look at the first 64 kilobyte of each file, or I'm gonna look at the whole file, no matter how big it is, for each
I see.
file
Okay.
in the message, okay? And he will report on missing files.
So this verification function would replace the MD5?
It could,
As,
it could.
uh-huh.
But remember, he's gonna do this for every player connected.
Mhm.
Okay, so I finished my project. Now I'm gonna say I wanna attach all the players. You can do that with the, this is the easiest way. If you've got a number of players, you say attach all,
Oh, that's nice. Now I like it.
he'll do them all. Or you can choose it, you know, through the drop down of each one. So if you're, if you're like,
Go ahead.
if you're loading number of players with the same message, it's just easiest to click the attach all instead of doing each one individually.
These are 2 NYSs
That's
attached?
nice.
Yep.
Why does it say NYS on the top and that
Because-
second line doesn't?
Because this one was formatted using a label. This one, the last time it was formatted, nothing was specified, so.
I see.
So he'll show it if it's there.
The little